touch base. Obviously, as many of you may know, the 2020 festival didn't happen in the way that it was meant to. However, then had the rolling program I know some of you were involved with in different ways, that ran from May through to October, and it was quite, well, an intense thing, but also an amazing thing to have this series of programs, everything from working with Volcano Circus and 3B Creative and everybody like that, doing driveway performances, online performances really early on as well, and to end up having 3,500 tickets sold, and over 100,000 streams actually happen over that period, which was pretty incredible to be able to get back to that point. And one of the great things was that we're also able to trial a lot of things that hopefully we'll be able to chuck into the way that we're working for 2021 as well. So 2021, it's all about discover, performance and place. Anywhere Fest has always been about, yes, the nooks and crannies, but also about connecting people, performance and place. And so what I'd just like to do, just for anybody here that hasn't been involved with Anywhere Festival before, is just cover some of the little basic bits. All right, so obviously performance festival, and where audiences are discovering places, the nooks and crannies. And it's a festival where performers can create performances anywhere. We wanted to remove all the barriers around that, the financial barriers, the location barriers, the infrastructure barriers, so that performances could happen anywhere, and it could be at the core of our society, really. And even though it's Anywhere Festival, it's so much more than that. I mean, that we have the festival at the end of it, but there is so much about the work that is spent working with artists, with venues, about developing the actual show, and developing skills to take beyond the festival. So connected to this basic stuff, so what do we actually provide as a festival, other than this big thing that happens at between the 6th to the 23rd of May? Right. So the things that we provide as part of that involve things like the venue brokerage. What that means is we have relationships with venues that provide them rent-free or very low cost, that performers can perform in. That's a huge part of it. By being part of the festival, see that a significant percentage of ticket purchases actually come through the festival. So it's a way of actually being able to develop your audience as a performer. Reviews and photography. Had the Anywhere reviewers and photographers from the very beginning of the festival in 2011, which was a way to have that conversation between you and someone that has taken the time to actually write about what they think about your show. And that element, and then all the photographs, which many of you I'm sure are very familiar with and have seen them on the Facebook page. One of the really interesting things about what we do as a festival is it allows you the ability to present across regions. Yes, based in Brisbane, but obviously beyond as well. And we'll touch on that in a bit more detail. Creative development support. This is obviously a huge thing. We are able to, and that's a key part from the very beginning when you express interest with an idea, we start working with you to go, okay, well, where could this idea go from an idea? Where can it go from, in a place? What can it connect with? What do you actually want to achieve? We see that as a huge part of what we do. As part of that, so since the very beginning, I've offered a producer pack with a whole range of templates, everything from risk assessment, budget templates, and front of house plans, all that kind of stuff. And something that is usable for emerging artists as well as people that are more established, just want to refresh the things that they're using. Being part of the festival program, obviously a huge thing being able to be part of this program. We obviously market far beyond what any individual company can do. And obviously we also want that program to be curated and of a certain size so that everybody can find or has the best chance of finding their audience. So I feel that's a huge part of it as well. Workshops that we'll talk about a bit more later. But once again, it's all about building up skills around the show and your skills. Talked about curating and programming, the ability to actually integrate in with our box office so that when people are actually looking at other shows, they're able to be inspired to also discover your show, even if they weren't necessarily looking, which is a huge thing by being part of the festival. And also have options around free rehearsal, particularly with our partner Communify, so that when you're rehearsing a show, you're actually able to access a certain amount of free space as well as also really cheap space to do your rehearsals as well. Media opportunities, risk assessment, because I just love that phrase, risk assessment, we all do. This is something we're able to assist with. Front of house kits, things that enable people to know where your show is, big banners, all that kind of stuff. Being able to connect you all up together and keep up to date with our participant e-news and the Facebook group that allows you to also network amongst each other or find, discover things and ask each other questions as well, which you find is a big thing. So so that's sort of a sample of all the things. I'm sure many of you are already aware of that, but it works out that works out to be about an average of $8,574 worth of services per production, which we obviously love doing. Things pretty cool, and it seems like a huge number, but that's what being part of this festival is about. Now hold on a second, I just want to have a look at chat just before I go on to the next slide. Or if you got it there. Okay. Yep. Cool. Thank you. All right. It's time to introduce you to who's here. My name is Paul, and I'm the artistic director for those of you who don't know me. And I co-founded the festival back in 2011 in Brisbane and have been the artistic director since then. It's still something that I absolutely love doing, and heading into year 10, hopefully it's the second attempt at year 10, and getting that anniversary happening. So it's something I've always been so excited about, performances in non-traditional spaces, the relationship between performances, venues, and just doing things in a different and better way. So that's me. Then there is Tony Wills, who's creative producer, Noosa and Sunshine Coast, who is waving there. I'm not sure if everyone can see the wave. Do you want to say a quick hello there, Tony? So we've got you.
Hi, everybody. Nice to see you all.
And also Tim Monley, who is the digital program director, which is an exciting thing that we'll also be touching on a bit more later. Say a quick hi.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you all. Look forward to chatting more about digital stuff in a sec.
All right, okay. It is a Q&A, and I'm sure possibly the first question, or one of the first, is about COVID. I know that things are still changing at a rapid rate at the moment. We had, the announcement here in Queensland on Friday that, capacity is going up from 50% to 100% as of tomorrow. But then also know that there's the news in from Adelaide today, which is that today that there's 17 cases, and that they're kind of going back down into restrictions again. So we're really keen to create and structure the festival in such a way that we can adapt to how it's all going to possibly change or not change. So one of the great things about it is because we've got non-traditional spaces and the seats aren't actually fixed into places, just by its very nature, we've got more flexibility on what we can actually do by being part of Anywhere Festival. And it's not just being, obviously outside where we know the risks are a lot lower, but also internally where we're able to rearrange and work with restrictions and change them, even if they change within days. It means that that's something that can be changed quite easily. We've currently got the COVID safe plans that have been created, and templates have been created that are Queensland based. So we'll keep an eye on those, but we've already got those as a base that would be able to provide and work with you to make sure that what you're doing is all going to be good and COVID safe. Budget lines reduced. One of the things about COVID, depending on what the audience capacity is that with Anywhere Festival, it's very much about using spaces that already exist, and as much as possible using them as they are. So one of the big things that's always been a lot of people been very interested in, and that I've been very proud of as well, is the fact that if somebody wants to find a space that is a bar, instead of finding a black box theatre and then just, dressing the entire set as a bar, instead we just use a bar. And so it means that things like that allow your key budget items, when you're trying to figure out how much it's going to cost you to put on your show, are going to be a lot less. So when you're also looking at a thing within COVID where audience numbers are also less, that makes it more possible, hopefully, for you to be able to still do work and to profit from it. We will talk about timelines a bit more later, but the key thing is that, yes, we're building in a certain amount of flexibility so that we know if things do change, and sometimes restrictions may be re-announced to come in the next day or 2 days later. So we want to set up everything so that for the next festival we can still react to that and make sure that a festival still happens and that you're still able to present a work under different restriction levels, if that's what you want to do. Another thing that Tim will talk about in a bit more detail as well is this idea of digital delivery options. And it's not just thinking about solely online shows, but thinking about what your show is and how you can actually connect in digitally. For example, some of the shows that we had between May and September had a couple of different ticketing tiers. You had people that were going in, seeing it in person, and that was one ticket price. But then people could get a cheaper ticket and actually just watch online. And so it helped us to generate also some more income, as well as more people to be able to see it. Proceeding under different restriction levels. So this will be something when we get to the bit about when you express interest in the festival, and as we work with you on your show, we'll basically come up with a plan with you so that you can go, okay, under 3 different restriction levels, do you think you'll still do your show or not? So it means that it makes it far easier for you and us to make a call when we actually get to announcing the program and then actually getting to the festival itself. Regions. So what regions are we in? As I'm sure you very well know, we have started in Brisbane in 2011, and then it was really exciting a number of years ago for me to run into Tony Wills and Nicole Prowse, and then we started seeing Sunshine Coast and Noosa appearing, and Tony will talk a little bit more about that. But now that we're also looking at finalising conversations with Ipswich and with Moreton Bay for 2011, and we'll have more to announce about those ones. But Tony, would you like to just talk a little bit, give a bit of background around Sunshine Coast and Noosa for those that aren't familiar?
Oh, hi there, everyone. I am actually joining you from Gubbi Gubbi country in the Sunshine Coast. And we have been running this festival up here since 2017 now. So it's got a fairly decent following, and we're building audiences year upon year. We were also delivering part of the COVID programming earlier this year. So, and that was received really well up here. So if you are a Sunshine Coast or Noosa based artist, I'm sort of your main contact person for the festival. I'm available on email, and there'll be some contact details later. But we generally get, in the past, I think last year we were scheduled to have about 35 shows up here on the Sunshine Coast. The very first festival we had was about 17 shows, and we work from everywhere, from coast to hinterland, from Caloundra to Noosa to Boreen Point. We have amazing natural environment here on the sunny coast, and we're very lucky to present really amazing shows in those environments, as well as some really quirky environments like swimming pools and hedge mazes and lighthouses. We really encourage you to be celebrating the sort of strange and natural places that we have as part of our everyday living. And I'm happy to chat about access to any of those places, with you once we've gone through the rest of the program or today's workshop.
Cool. Thank you, Tony. Okay. Anywhere Awards. For those that have been familiar with the festival, you might know that a few years ago it started as a purely audience vote, where it was completely audience vote based, and we did a little bit of interesting calculation to allow people that had shows with a very small capacity to be under consideration as much as shows with a bigger capacity, and that's something that did for a few years. Now 2020, as part of the program being announced, being revealed, we were actually going to make a really big change with it and take it up another level. What we had organised is we'd actually spoken with a whole range of major arts organisations, everyone from Queensland Theatre, Queensland Ballet, Art Tour, Brisbane Powerhouse, Sydney Fringe, Melbourne Fringe, producers up and down the coast, to, instead of it just being an award that is nice to get and comes with a little plaque or frames in some kind of way, that actually came with something. And what we were really keen to do and really wanted to do was provide things that were focused around further developing your show or your skills. So what we were about to announce for 2020 was things where you had a whole range of things where it was connected to getting time with some of the key people at those organisations, being able to build your expertise around that, possibly being able to get people to actually see your show and to be able to help you further develop that. It was all about career pathways. And so we'll be making more announcements about who specifically will be involved with this for 2021. But the conversations are going on really well at the moment, and everyone seems to be really keen. So this is a really big thing that we're really excited about for the 2021 festival. So that's what I wanted to say about that at the moment. All right. Online from anywhere. Look, by the very nature that we're just all talking like this at the moment. One of the big things is the Anywhere Festival program is open up to anybody to be part of it, regardless of where they are. They can deliver an online show. Doesn't matter whether you're also doing a physical show here within the regions that we've talked about, and you've got an online component, or you're actually come from another part of Australia or another part of the world. And what we're really excited to be having conversations around at the moment, and we'll be able to give you more detail as things evolve, is that we're building up relationships with a number of international companies and festivals, so that certain online programs and shows that are part of our program will also be part of international programs and vice versa. So that's going to be a really, really cool thing for us to and for you to be able to be involved with. We'll obviously announce more details as we get along, but that also then connects in more to what we think we'll be able to do, what we'll be able to offer digitally, and that's at the point that I now hand over to Tim.
Over to me. All right, cool. So, hi everyone. My name is Tim. For those who don't know me, I was a creative producer last year, and I'm moving over now to be the digital program director. And I'm super excited at developing a really fun digital program and to look at making great digital shows as part of Anywhere. So well, I guess the first exciting thing to say is that we did get a digital adaptation grant from Arts Queensland. Thank you, Arts Queensland. Which means we have equipment that we can hire to the festival producers at very discounted rates. And the things we're going to have are a single camera filming kit. That'll be a fancy 4K camera. We haven't purchased them yet, so if you have strong opinions, let me know about what we're getting. But we've got a 4K camera with tripod and boom mic and all that sort of thing. An audio kit with lapel mics and a mixer. We'll get a streaming kit that has a vision mixer. And we also have, myself and another organisation that have received grants as well, and so we have relationships there, which means you'll also be able to get access to other camera kits and 360 camera and 360 mic in order to do immersive recording. So they'll all be available all the way through the lead up and during the festival for sort of $50 a day hire fee, which is much less than they would cost normally. So the idea with the grant is that it's enabling artists to become more resilient and to build their online profiles. So this equipment, as well as being used to deliver digital program, can also be used for you creating a much higher level production value previews and recordings of your performances, because that's also really important to get a good recording of your performance for sort of later marketing of the show. So as well as that, we've got relationships for internships and mentorships. So don't think that you have to develop all these skills in camera work and live streaming and become a digital producer. Just have the ideas, have the story ideas, have the creative ideas, and we want to build those relationships with people that are focused on screen media that can come in and do the filming of the show, do the recording, work out the audio problems, work out the streaming problems. And then they're going to be their key interest. So just think about the exciting things you want to do, and there will be other people coming in to work with you who have those skills. So that's exciting. And yes, Paul already mentioned the international collaborations. So I've had lots of really exciting conversations with people working digitally across the States, in Europe and America, producing really amazing work via Zoom or streaming, and really kind of pushing the ways in which we can make shows feel live and feel interactive and feel intimate. So have a think about like shows that you might want to present digitally, and it might also be that you have a season and one of those shows has a digital show that we put all of the camera gear in and we stream and we have an audience. And how is that audience that is remote, that is online, interacting with your live show? There's lots of sort of exciting, fun ways of using this technology. And there are ways of linking, not just, it's not just like what it was in lockdown, where it's everybody isolated. If we've got 100% capacity, we can link up lots of little shows together. Maybe we have a dozen groups of 30 people across the world all linked together doing a performance. There's lots of possibilities there. So I'm the one to chat to about those exciting possibilities, and I will, as much as possible, connect you to other exciting people around the world to collaborate. And just a quick note as well, I'm also very excited about virtual reality theatre. I'm working on a show that has VR components for the festival as well. And VR theatre is this really kind of interesting new wave of theatre that's currently showing up in film festivals a lot, but I really think we want the theatre festivals to also be presenting, you know, virtual reality theatre. There's a lot of great tech out there that makes it easy. There's VR chat rooms that you can, you know, stage shows in. As part of the digital adaptation grant, I've got getting a headset and, you know, a whole VR rig, so I can go and set that up for a day with the Judith Wright Centre and show you how to, you know, use it and give you some experiences of VR and what's possible. So if you've just got little hints of curious about that, then please get in touch. Really excited to encourage theatre work to be presented digitally and to build your audiences internationally by starting to have more of a focus on digital content. So that's me.
Cool. Thanks, Tim.
Cheers.
Right. So yeah, a lot of exciting things have evolved from you know, where we were in 2020. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing some of that stuff come along. Now, workshop and resources. So for those of you who haven't been part of the festival, you know, one of the big things we always do with the festival is we have, you know, workshops that hopefully target things that you are really interested in knowing how to do at the time that you really need to know how to do them. We will be intending to run a number of workshops, particularly over the key period where you're putting together and confirming details for the program, which we'll touch on a bit later. But also, particularly, we've got a new, you know, series of workshops that we will be running this year that we're really excited about, and I'm going to chuck you over to Tony to talk a little bit about what they are.
Hi, it's like a game of tennis, isn't it? You know, back and forth and back and forth. I am really excited to announce that the Sunshine Coast Council and Noosa Council have funded our workshop program this year. And in doing so, we are going to bring you a series of workshops in late January and early February with the local First Nations group, the Gubbi Gubbi people here on the Sunshine Coast and Noosa area. They will be looking at creative responses to telling stories in place and the relationship between story and place. And we'll be announcing more details about those workshops very soon, and we're hoping to also expand that into other areas. As you know, the Gubbi Gubbi people here are very generous with their knowledge and their time in the Sunshine Coast community. Anyone that's been to an event often will see them welcoming to country, and also you might have seen the dance troupe that they have. So we're really excited to be working with them, and you know, we really think it's a really lovely base in which the origins of this idea of storytelling in place and responding to your local environment and natural environment is really pivotal to the Anywhere ethos. And yeah, we're super excited about the collaboration. So I'll leave it there. And if there's any more questions, we'll have been announcing dates later on, but you know, just hold your questions and we can talk about that more after.
Cool. Thank you very much, Tony. Yeah. Yeah, we're really excited about what that will do for your work and the relationships that people build. So that's really exciting. Right, locations. As you know, Anywhere, it's all about the, you know, discovering places, performances, and so what I just wanted to basically touch on was the thing that a lot of people tend to ask at the very beginning is how you find the venues. Basically, there's three ways, and either of them is they're all good. It all depends what you want to do. So we have already built up a number of relationships with venues and people we've worked with in the past, and also new people that have come along and new venues that we will put up on the website, and they'll be available once you've expressed interest and we've given you the tick. Then you'll be able to access that and look at the venues that we have available. So there's that way. It is entirely possible, and we also encourage it as well that, if you've got real particular ideas about the space you want to use, and you just want to go and pursue that yourself, you can bring that in as well. There's no restrictions. It doesn't have to be one of our venues. A lot of people ask that. It doesn't matter. If you find a venue and you have the conversation and arrange it, that's all good. And then the third way is that we work together. That possibly you've got an idea for a space, or you want to approach a particular venue. It's not on our list, but you want to work with us to secure that space. So any of those three are all fine and dandy and good. And there's a mix every year of people that find their own spaces that we didn't know about, and ones that we worked with people to secure, and ones that we already had locked in. And as I said, venues, they'll be on the website. Once you express interest, we'll give you access to all of that. Anywhere hubs. Okay, so this is another significant change for this coming year. It's something that's been growing, as different spaces and have been popping up around Brisbane and Sunshine Coast and Noosa as well. So what this is, we're locked in a number of spaces that are venues that really support independent artists. They're venues that, if you've been involved with Anywhere Festival, you've probably seen their names before. And what we wanted to do was actually step it up and really create real focused hubs in each of these different areas. So some of the ones that we're talking about at the moment, and that are locked in. So talking about Sideshow in West End, which is a fantastic space on Vulture Street, does support a lot of independent artists, and we want to have a hub there during the festival. We'll have a hub. Akana, which is a newly renamed space. It's out in Maruka, that has a number of different spaces, from car park to something that is more like a bigger black box kind of space, and rehearsal rooms, things like that, that are really keen to create a hub on Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights. University of Queensland, which we'll talk a bit more about in a moment. Elements Collective, this is 3 spaces at what was known as Kupo Concept in the Valley. So we're really excited that we'll be doing something with them as well. And then also in Sunshine Coast, at Sun Central, the new Maroochydore City Centre, where there'll be opportunities for a number of different types of performance locations. So it'll be something where we really wanted to create this hub for a few reasons. One, we know sometimes you just need a space where it just has a certain amount of equipment in it and is nearly a black box. And that shows like that have been part of Anywhere Festival in the past, but what we wanted to do is actually highlight that. So for people who specifically want that, and it's also been a lot of interest from people that are outside the region as well, that are obviously going to find it really a bit more difficult to find and scout around for the little nooks and crannies. Being able to just lock in with a space removes a few more barriers and allows some more performances to happen. So really excited about that. So at this point, I might actually bring in, just to talk a little bit about what they are able to do, is the University of Queensland. Now, I think Sibylla, I can see you online. Would you like to unmute and talk people through, maybe give them a little bit of background about the shows that have been at UQ with Anywhere in the past, and the kind of things you're looking for for 2021.
Thank you, Paul, and hi, everybody. So, yeah, look, we've been involved with Anywhere Theatre for 2 years. This will be our third coming up. So we've had a whole range of different shows. We've mostly focused on outdoor areas in line with that kind of Anywhere Theatre feel, where it's theatre in unexpected places. We had a fantastic show last year called The Flood, which was a sort of camping trip gone wrong for 20-year-olds somethings, which was fantastic, ran in the Great Court. We've had more traditional theatre or takes on kind of Hansel and Gretel. We've had Shitstorm, which was, we had that out the front of the Art Museum, which was a really fantastic show. Some of them are 1 or 2 people, some of them are more 10 or 15 people. And I think probably just to talk, someone asked about what a hub is. I suppose for us it means that logistically we can look at running 3, 4 or 5 different performances a night in one area, because we've got the resources to be able to support that, and then create for people that want to come and see theatre the opportunity to see a few things in one space at night time if we sort of schedule well. So for the university, we love theatre coming to UQ. We do have some theatre history, of course, but I suppose we're always wanting to do a little bit more culturally and have some more engagement with local and national performers and artists. So this year Paul's come out and had a bit of a look at the site, and I suppose because we've been outdoors for the last 2 years, I kind of thought that we could actually go indoors. There's some pretty cool spaces. I showed one to Paul, and I don't have a photo, but I'm happy to do a bit of a video and send that through in the next week or so. But it's called the Senate Room, and basically that's where all of the executives and the senior people at the university sit and make decisions. So it kind of looks a little bit like Parliament. It's got this sort of mahogany, woody, stuffy feel with lots of pictures of old, important men, and no women yet, but we've got our first VC, so she'll get a picture up there when she finishes up in whenever she decides to. So I suppose in saying that, we are always open to supporting any of you to do whatever you need to do. I don't want to be too defining of what we're after. We're after creating spaces for you guys to come and present your work, and lots of support. So we always set up deck chairs. We try to do food trucks to support the event. We do a whole lot of promotion, and we've got 56,000 students at UQ, so we do quite heavy promotion to ensure that you guys get some good numbers to the place. The only sort of things that I've learnt over the last couple of years is probably just around the curation and, can you please make sure your face is in the frame? Can everyone not see me? Or?
Yeah, we can see you. Yeah.
Oh, okay, someone just said they couldn't, but anyway, I'll keep talking. I think it's just around the curation and the making it, if someone's going to come out to UQ, and not that it's that far, but if someone's going to make the trip, that, maybe they could see a couple of performances, have dinner, go for a walk around the lakes, and it becomes a bit of a sort of, a bit of a night out instead of one show somewhere, that we can do all of that supporting stuff around your plays. So, I say every year to all of you, if you're not sure, just email me and I'll take you for a tour and we can try and find some interesting places for performances. I do put photos up, but I think, if you can make it out, then we can really start to get creative about what is possible. That's kind of the main frame, but we definitely support in the promotion, the seating, the lighting. We don't do too much of the sort of acoustic support for PAs, etc. But as I said, come and have a chat to us, and if we need to negotiate something, we see what we can do. But we are definitely here to support you guys, bring your work to life.
Thank you, Isabel. Yeah, look, and the amount of spaces, when I went out there and we went and had a walk around, was it a week ago, 2 weeks ago now, just the amount of different spaces and backdrops from places where you've got a train that's a restaurant that could be used as a backdrop, through to obviously places like the Great Court and smaller versions of that as well, that also have some internal space as well for weather contingency, through to the Senate Room, which is a brilliant space. All these, I did take a bunch of pictures, so once again, that's something we'll have on the website there, at least to give you an initial idea about what it is. And this idea of creating a hub and having it so that people go out there and know they can go and see a couple of different things is something that we really want to encourage and try to program it in such a way that we can that will work as effectively as possible. But yes, thank you, Isabel. All right. Other news. So a base view. So we're really excited to announce. I think it's officially been announced, but I think I'm allowed to talk about it, is that we've, through Arts Queensland, Queensland Government, we have been successful in getting a space at the Judith Wright Centre in Fortitude Valley, which we can use as an office space. It's also a shop front, so actually has great advertising opportunities as well. And we have that until the end of next year. We really want to use this space as something so that people can come in and use it to hot desk. We've spoken with a few key companies that will be, who are looking to use it semi-regularly, but also leaving space there, particularly in the lead up to the festival, for you to be able to just come in and use it as a place to plug into the internet and not feel obligated to buy a coffee. So we've got that. And also the other thing that's really exciting about it is that it gives us the ability to book spaces within the Judith Wright as well, which we feel will be particularly really useful for grabbing spaces that are there for rehearsal and being able to offer that to you. So we'll be able to announce more details over as we confirm everything there and know what's available, but that's going to be a huge thing. And we'll obviously also set up something so that if you just want to organise a meeting with Anywhere Festival, that it's easy to know when you can find us and when someone will be there as well. But yeah, so that's a big huge thing as well. We'll also have with the relationship we've got with Sun Central, Maroochydore, there'll be a pop-up office in the lead up to the festival. So for everyone that's more northerly based, Sunshine Coast, Noosa, and also for people that are actually presenting something up there and need a bit of a base up there, that will be there as well. So yeah, I'm sure we'll have some more announcements around all of this, but we can announce those two at the moment. So we're really excited about that. Touching on the festival program and marketing. So that program you can see there, that was 2019. We're really wanting to make something that works really well, but is also really flexible for 2021. The program, the actual festival program itself, not the actual physical thing, but the number of shows and productions, once again, will still be limited in size. The festival is not completely open access. Anyone can apply, but we want to make sure that everyone that's in the festival is going to have the best chance of finding their audience, and therefore, we don't just want to have so many shows in there that it's not possible for that to happen. So we'll have a certain a limit on the number, But from the actual, festival program and the print program, we're looking at how that will be created in a way that will allow us the flexibility, depending on how things change with COVID or don't. So I've got that. Next year, from a marketing point of view, we're quite excited that we'll be doing a program where we've arranged a community partnership with Goa Billboards. We'll have a whole stack of digital billboards around the launch of the program, and then also going into the festival. The way that we'll be using that as something, we really see it as each billboard having 3 points. One, it's obviously the Anywhere Festival brand. Secondly, it's the show. Thirdly, it's the venue. So as we get closer, we'll be looking at the shows and the images that we feel would really work for that, and putting them up there on these digital billboards. So it's very likely that you could have a digital billboard up there with your actual specific show on it that's also advertising the festival. So that's another huge thing that was going to happen in 2020 and thankfully is being carried over to 2021. Also got a new ticketing system coming in as well. So really happy with that and how that will work compared to the last few years. And you'll see more about that when you actually start putting your program together, putting your show details together for the program, I should say. Okay, dates. Once again, for a little reminder, with all this stuff, we'll be putting it up on the website later on today. So you'll have that as a reference point, but I'll just cover some of the key things. So today, expressions of interest open for performance makers. 6th of December is where expressions of interest close. If we feel we've got enough by that point, that'll be it. If we still feel there's a bit of scope for some more, we might open it up or allow people to apply, but that's the deadline to go for. For everybody that was part of the 2020 program that is carried over, we'll be talking with you over the next couple of weeks to go, okay, right, you still want to do the same show that you did in 2020, or do you want to evolve that concept? So we'll have those conversations with you.
Do you want them to do the EOI application, at least to update their application with COVID and various other, like if they had a 2020 show, should they go through and do the EOI?
Not until we've had
conversations first?
Yeah, okay. We'll just do that first.
Sure.
And so I've got that. So 21st of December is then when we'll get back to, that'd be the latest point that we get back to everybody that has expressed interest to say, yep, cool, you're in, let's go to the next stage and see where your show will evolve. And look, an important thing to know as well with the expressions of interest, and say to anyone that's thinking about it, is that you can, if you're at a point where you're going, actually, look, I want to be involved, but I don't even know what my idea is yet. You can still have that conversation with us and put in something just to start the ball rolling. And if you know exactly what you want to do and you've got all the details and it's a show you've done before, then you can also do that as well. So there's a certain amount of flexibility within the expressions of interest. We'll then just get to a certain point where we'll want to talk with you more and get more information to see, where it fits in or whether it will go into the next stage. And that will be around that 21st of December. Just FYI that Anywhere office will be closed over December, January. We'll have it all on the website with the specific dates, and we'll just have it, once again, easily bookable so you know when you can contact us. 1st to 21st of February. So this is a date where it's actually where you put and get together all the show details for the festival program. So the 21st of February is actually the deadline, and that's also the deadline for paying to participate in the festival. There is also the other option that if you actually want to break it up and pay in installments, because it seemed to be quite popular last year, that you can do that as long as you start doing that before the end of December. And we'll have that in the EOI form as well, so that you know all of that. With that 1st to the 21st of February, so yeah, we see that's been a real key period. There'll be a number of workshops happening in there. We expect a lot of conversations will be happening, a lot of programming amongst the hubs, trying to put all that together and doing it within that 3-week period. If it's something where you have a show where you feel that we know there are certain venues where they need things locked in before that, and that's absolutely fine as well. We'll make sure those conversations happened and they're locked in, you know, before that, so that then you can have your details there ready for our program deadline. Looking to actually reveal the full program on the 22nd of March or thereabouts. We'll confirm the exact date, and that will be the full festival program. And then it hop, skip and a jump then into the 6th to the 23rd of May, which is the date for the festival, and that's Thursday 6th and Sunday the 23rd of May. The final thing after that is on the 30th of May, which in fact I think it should be the 29th of May, will be the Saturday, will be the Anywhere Awards ceremony as well. And there's a number of other dates in amongst there, as far as, for example, when we need media releases, when risk assessments need to be sorted, all that kind of stuff. But we'll have that, all the full details on the website. Yeah, so participating. So last year, many of you know, it was $295 was the participation fee to be involved with the festival. And once again, we feel it's, given the the $8,500 that would provide value, we feel it's an amazing way to leverage something if you know you're wanting to do a show anyway. So there's that, and you've got a couple of opportunities there. And one is that, yes, you can actually pay simply upfront by the 21st of February when you actually confirm and lock in all your show details. You can pay before that as well if you know your venue needs to do it and you've got all your stuff ready. If you want to, you can ask to pay in installments and start that in December. And it's still the case that if you get to end of February and it looks like the show just isn't, you're just not finding the right venue, hopefully we will work with you to find the right venue. But if for some reason you have to pull out, then we're able to offer a refund up to that point. After that point, no. And then we're also, we'll leave it open as well within the expression of interest form for people that are also interested in actually providing support through to actually mentor other artists. So this is something more for established artists. So there's a few different ways that you can get involved other than just paying upfront. And all this will be in the expression of interest, but I'll just flag them a little bit now. But that key amount of $295 is the key one. Yep, okay. We've got, so that, okay, that's the end. How are we going? Oh gosh, we're already at an hour. I do apologize. So that's the thing. Anywhere Festival, 6th to the 23rd of May. It's going to be, feel more amazing than 2020 was going to be, and more amazing than 2019. We've got all those key details there. We'll be putting it all up on the website by the end of the day, and along with all the dates, all the expression of interest form, contact details, how to get in contact with us, all of that kind of stuff will be there, and we'll also follow up with an email as well. So that were the key things I wanted to mention. Tony and Tim, is there anything you wanted to mention?
I think that covers it. Yeah, just happy to have those conversations. Get in touch if you've got any questions or you just want to talk digital. I'm here for it.
And just from me, there was a couple of questions. I think most of them we've answered through the course of the show, the presentation, but one was about shows from New South Wales and interstate shows. I would suggest that just put in your EOI form, that's where you are, and we can work with you to work out, you know, either in-person or digital options as like plan B. And I've been just articulating for Marissa's benefit what we've been talking about, because apparently the closed captions weren't working for her. But this will be up on the Facebook Live. Is that right, Paul?
It will be. We'll have it on Facebook Live, and we'll have a because the Zoom closed captioning wasn't working as intended. So we're actually putting all the key points written in text format for everybody that can better access them that way.
Yeah. So just in response to Russell's two other questions, Angie Dunbaven's asked to talk more about Moreton and Ipswich, Paul. I'll leave that one with you.
Okay.
And Russell Krause has asked about whether we do, on the Sunshine Coast, work in actual theatres. I think I'll leave that one with you too, because Anywhere is about not presenting in theatres. It's in other spaces other than theatres. But we're open to having chats with Russell about other ways to present a show.
Yeah, look, so I'll start on that one first. So look, we're always very much about that relationship with the actual space, and so wherever possible, we really encourage you to think about performing in a non-traditional space. However, having said that, know that, and this is why some of those hub spaces are there for this year as well, where we're saying, okay, they are spaces where people are using them in a very simple manner, and there are just some shows where that will actually work better for them. So there is that option for it. I and Tony and Tim will always push you towards looking at a non-traditional space, but we also know, particularly in reply to the interstate thing as well, is that that was another reason why one of those spaces are there as well, because they're spaces that have a certain amount of tech within them, but we're still interested to see shows within them that play with the whole format and don't just do a performance on a stage. So that's that part. On Ipswich and Moreton, so we're just locking in details around how that will work. We've got been talking with and conversations have far progressed with Ipswich around the possibility there, and we're just looking at how that will work. But we're really keen to have shows that will be part of Ipswich, and similarly with Moreton Bay. They're both ones that they're just about locked in, but not quite. But I did want to flag them here, which is why we included them here. We'll have more detail on the website about that, but we're looking to have something so that they'll be able to have similar support to the way that we operate things in Sunshine Coast and Noosa and Brisbane, and that if you're looking at doing something in a number of regions, that those places can also be part of that offer as well. So I think that's the key thing that I can mention at the moment.
I've just answered Shamila's question about if you've carried over your money from 2020, you will not need to pay the rego fee again.
No.
But if you got a refund of the 2020 money, then you will need to re-register, repay.
Yeah.
Hope that's clear for everybody.
Cool. Okay. Well, look, we'll leave it at that. So again, we'll drop up a follow-up here, but if you can either drop us a line either just through the actual Facebook event that this was all connected to, or just directly through Facebook, or via email. You can either just send it direct to me, it's paul@anywhere.is. And Tony, it's Tony@anywhere.is, and that's TONI. And Tim
tim@anywhere.is.
Yes. And I think all the details actually are already on the website. To be able to contact us. For those of you who haven't already been in conversation with us and don't already have our details. So yeah, feel free to do that. But otherwise, yep, all the details will be up on the website by the close of today, and we'll send you the direct link to that. But otherwise, thank you very, very much for coming along and firing questions and hearing what we've got. So I think it's going to be, it's going to be a really exciting 2021. So, and for the festival as well. So thank you.